Today, we're diving into a really cool case study from the world of sales that shows off a simple but honestly an incredibly powerful professional superpower: genuine human connection.
So, let's kick things off by setting the stage with a question that, let's face it, a lot of us deal with in our careers.
I mean, really think about that for a second. We're all fighting for attention, right? Against a flood of emails, notifications, endless meetings. It doesn't matter if you're a leader, a creative, or in sales. The real challenge isn't just getting heard. It's about making a connection that actually means something.
To get to the heart of this, we're not going to look at some complicated new strategy or some fancy new tech. No. Instead, we're going to check out a powerful case study about one person who totally cracked the code.
All right, so let's meet our main character. His name is Lance Robertson, and he was a representative for a pharmaceutical company called Pharmacea. So here's the deal with Lance. He'd been with the company for about a year, covering the Huntsville, Alabama area. And right away, he stood out, but not for his technical know-how. Nope. It was because he had, and I'm quoting here, very strong interpersonal skills, and he puts them to work each and every day.
You have to remember, this is an industry that is often completely laser-focused on features, benefits, all the data behind a product. But Lance's competitive edge, it came from somewhere else entirely.
Yep, it was that simple. His success came from this amazing ability he had to build great rapport with his physicians and his partners. He just got it, that business, when you strip it all down, is always human.
So, you're probably thinking, okay, that's great, but how does being a people person actually lead to real, measurable results? Well, let's dig into the impact.
Well, the feedback came in and it was immediate and frankly overwhelming. His manager, Jennifer Price, said that in her many years as a district sales manager, the tidal wave of positive feedback she got about Lance was totally unprecedented.
And what's really interesting here is that his manager didn't even call his talent selling. She called it the gift of building bridges. Now, that little change in words is so important. It shows his whole approach wasn't about pushing a product. It was about creating access, creating opportunity, which then had a direct impact on sales.
So let's be super clear. This wasn't just about being a nice guy that everyone liked. His people skills created a direct chain reaction. The ability to connect led to more face time, which led to more business. It was a tangible, results-driven skill. And get this brilliant approach, it wasn't just some 9-to-5 act he put on for work. It was genuinely who he was. And the ultimate proof of that, it came on one of the most personal days of his life, his wedding day.
I mean, this is just perfect. It totally illustrates how authentic he was. At his wedding, the groom's cake was decorated with little prescription vials and pill cups. The vials were even labeled directions for happiness. How great is that? This clearly wasn't just a job to him. He loved his work because he was passionate about the connections that let him build. But here it is. This is the most powerful part of the whole story. Sitting there at the wedding, celebrating with him, were several of his customers. Just let that sink in for a minute. These relationships were so real, so genuine, they completely went beyond the professional world. They weren't just clients, they were his friends. All right, let's bring all this home and see how this story builds into a really powerful lesson that any of us can apply, no matter what our job title is. You see, Lance's story is way more than just a great sales anecdote. It's really a blueprint for building influence and making a real impact through genuine, authentic connection.
So if we wanted to boil his success down, we could call it a 3-step method. First, it all starts with a foundation of strong interpersonal skills. The ability to listen and really relate to people. Then, it's about using innovative, personal ways to create that meaningful face time, just like Lance did. And finally, and this is the most important part, the focus has to be on building genuine bridges, shifting your whole mindset from just making transactions to building true partnerships. The story ends with this really simple but powerful line. It's a direct call to action, reminding us that in any role we have, our unique ability to connect, our true, authentic personality, that's what really matters. So as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with this question. Just for a moment, forget about the product or the service you're focused on. Think about your unique human skills. Because as Lance Robertson's story proves, your greatest professional asset might just be you. So how are you going to be the difference?